I grabbed this book again. It was on my desk.
David
And
Wilkerson,
I brought it to the show with me.
Racing Towards
And
Judgment.
as I was getting ready to close this show, after what we had talked about, Mondo, I opened up to this page, The Punishment of America. And what did it say? It says, I believe God is going to judge this nation with 3 instruments of destruction. This is Prophet David Wilkerson, I call him. They are earthquakes, drought, and financial disaster. Every nation God has judged in the past was appointed special instruments of calamity. So even Jeremiah, the prophet, warned his people of 4 kinds of disasters coming as judgment against sin. But here's the first one he says that is really going to wipe out and destroy big sections of America. And here's what he says, killer earthquakes. Can you believe? I opened just up to that. And we're talking about these earthquakes that are shaking everywhere.
Yes.
And it tells of the earthquakes and massive earthquakes in many places. He says, I believe God has appointed the instrument of killer earthquakes as his most ominous weapon of judgment. Our nations will undoubtedly suffer the most severe judgment of all. It will strike suddenly without warning. And there's that word suddenly again. There's going to be suddenly, people. You're not going to understand it. You're not going to be ready. And I'll tell you, the West Coast is talking about seceding from America. They don't want to be a part of America. They don't want to. They don't want to punish criminals. Sanctuary cities are not cities of God. Sanctuary cities are places where murderers, criminals, drug pushers can go without being punished. It's crazy.
Lawless.
Insanity.
Lawlessness.
Yes.
It will strike suddenly without warning. God has forewarned through many prophetic messages. Even scientists have been warning that major quakes are coming. It will not come as a surprise. The very first tremor will be send forth the judgment message loud and clear to all. This is it. A day of judgment has come. There are no words in our language to describe the horror and the suffering. There will be no way of escape. The worst that man feared will suddenly come upon him. God will literally shake our nation with this instrument of judgment. The mountains will tremble. The cities will fall. Quake-proof buildings will crumble like sand castles. Power lines will crack like toothpicks. The earth will have split apart and tremble. In less than 2 minutes of God's judgment clock, the death angel will claim the lives of multiple thousands over a radius of hundreds of miles. Mountain passes, roads of escape will be blocked. Water mains will crumble and break. Cars and houses will sway like toys tossed about. Dams will burst, and flood tides will carry many to their doom. And it goes on. Businesses will be wiped out. Churches will be destroyed. Schools will crumble. Amusement parks will be shattered. The dead will be everywhere. All communications will be hampered. The wheels of society will come suddenly to a halt. All this destructive death and terror will happen in less than 2 minutes of divine judgment.
Dear Lord.
And then he goes on, his next statement, his judgment begins at the coast. And we've heard that from prophets before.
Yes.